Test, test.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the invocation. Thank you, Lord, for allowing us to come together during this time of the pandemic. Thank you for letting us gather as a whole one last time before we go our separate ways. Lord, I ask that you please watch over each and every single one of us here today. Some of us will choose college, some the workforce, and others the military. But whatever we choose, please help us keep our focus on you, Lord, because with you, all things are possible. Thank you to our teachers and mentors for pushing us to be the best version of ourselves. Dear Lord, as this chapter closes and a new one begins, I ask you to lead us to do all things in your name. Amen.
Good evening, parents, siblings, and all family members who are joining us tonight. Thank you for coming to celebrate with us. Having you here makes this night so much more special. Well, everybody, we made it. It took a lot for this to happen, and we're so happy that it has. Thanks to the administration, teachers, and everyone else who has worked to make this ceremony possible. The lead up to tonight started many long years ago in the kindergarten hallways of Springville Elementary. I didn't move in until the next year, but I got to learn later about the Chinese New Year celebration and see the big turkeys that everybody took home to decorate. The next few years were a blur of AR books, field trips, wonderful teachers, and entertaining education that we didn't know to appreciate at the time. In 3rd grade, we took our first standardized tests. In 4th grade, we got a taste of changing classes. We were the first class to go on the Montgomery field trip. In 5th grade, we had to conquer lockers for the first time. I could never open mine alone. To whoever my locker neighbor was, I'm so sorry you had to open it every single time. After that, middle school. We were facing Miss McCarthy's class, rotating classes without staying together, and the general fear of what middle school was going to bring. During our year in Pine Street, we learned how to solve equations, spell February, and played more around the world with Coach Bledsoe than you could ever imagine. Sometimes he mixed things up and we got to play dodgeball. Mr. Spivey taught us how to be competitive over dum-dum suckers just to make sure we were interested in his content. We got to make volcanoes with him, which was probably not worth the stress it put on him. Mr. Winslet left SMS that year to go to the high school, but we'll catch up with him later. Once we survived 6th grade, we moved buildings again. In Main Street, we were the babies. We learned that mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell and lots of other information that we've forgotten, with a new batch of teachers we had never met before. Ms. Brown told us to keep our phones off and in our locker at every opportunity she had. Coach Williams took the softball team to their first state championship, while we got updates over the intercom because nobody had a way to get to the game. The year ended in an epic water balloon war that was probably supposed to teach us about battle tactics, but we didn't really learn anything. Although we try to forget what happened in middle school, this was our innocent time where we thought we were grown up, but we had no idea what was coming. The first day of high school was absolutely terrifying, for no particular reason. There was so much anticipation built up that we had no choice but to be nervous. I remember jumping out of my mom's car when I saw Tyler Minton because I refused to walk in by myself. We awkwardly hovered down in the lobby while we waited to see what would happen. Coach Smith and Mr. Winslet acquainted us with the entire code of conduct, and we were sent off to first period, and thus went high school. Eventually, bathroom trips didn't feel like mazes, no one went into senior classes, and the four-way became much less intimidating. We settled in quite fast. Then came our first pep rally. Somehow, word got down from the senior class to all of us lowly freshmen that something big would happen at the pep rally, and after that, you were supposed to sit down. So we all settled in, our turn comes in the spirit competition, and we all sat down. I speak for all of us when I say I've never been so mortified in my life. But with time, we figured things out. 10th and 11th grade run together, just 2 years of following routine and trying to keep up our GPAs. We learned how to drive, rolled some houses during homecoming week, and just enjoyed our time while we weren't at the bottom of the pecking order. And finally, we hit senior year. We'd watched our siblings and friends move on, anxiously waiting for it, and then it was upon us. Homecoming was early, so we dove right into class and prepared to win the trophy. We definitely didn't participate in junior-senior war. We made signs for themed pep rallies and went together to our last football game. We went away from homecoming with the trophy, and we may have left a lasting reminder in the form of golden streamers on the gym ceiling. Coach House, Coach Smith, I am so sorry for those, but they did look quite nice up there. Just like that, the rest of the season flew by, and it was senior night. We cried together as everyone used the night to celebrate as a group. Once football was over, we jumped right into basketball season. After playing St. Clair too many times and beating everyone in the county, our girls and boys teams made their way to the playoffs. They both made it quite far, and once the girls had been knocked out, Coach Smith led the boys all the way to the Elite Eight. It rained that morning, and Mr. Howard delayed school in case of flooding, so all of Springville High School loaded up and went to JSU for our historic shot in making the Final Four. I've never felt so united as a school as we did that day. Unfortunately, we lost the game, and just like that, basketball season was over. We had lots of delays and canceled school from nasty weather after that. Spring sports barely got started from all the weather cancellations. Then we start hearing that people in China are getting sick. We joked about conspiracy theories because it was geographically far away and thus insignificant in our lives. It didn't matter. The weather was improving. Baseball and softball would be making playoff runs again. We were getting close to the easiest part of the year. Plans were being made for college, and then suddenly, all of those things came to a screeching halt. Whispers started spreading about potential cancellations, but we just thought that would mean an extended spring break. We left school on a Friday, bringing home a few more binders than usual, just in case we missed school, because this coronavirus stuff was spreading a bit. I joked with someone about taking all of their stuff home because didn't they understand that we would be back Monday even if school was canceled later? We all thought Monday was guaranteed because we had to come back to make a plan and pick up our things. The next night, I was sitting in Odenville at a rodeo with Rachel and Leah, joking about wearing Nike shorts and doing other things we normally couldn't do because it might be our last week of school. Miss Manzella turned around a few minutes later and broke the news. We weren't going back. Life became a whirlwind of questions. What would we do about class, graduation, club hours, transcripts, and all the other things that our year still held? Prom was swept under the rug. Everything went on hold as plans were made and time slowed down. We had to prepare ourselves for class at home while missing out on the best part of the year. In the midst of all this, our spring athletes never got to finish their season, reach the playoffs, or be recognized for their hard work. If anybody playing a spring sport could stand up for just a moment, please. Can we all give them a round of applause because they never were celebrated? Thanks, guys. So eventually, us seniors were told we had completed high school and only those in AP and dual enrollment classes had to keep working. KIV announced that the school year would be finished remotely because it wasn't safe to have in person. So we finished high school, away from our friends, with no fanfare at all, anxiously awaiting news about having a graduation. Mr. Howard announced that we would only be able to have a private ceremony, and the uproar commenced. A few days later, we got a new email that changed everything. We were getting a real, big graduation with our families and everyone in our class. So here we are, together. We've just completed a historic school year, which hopefully never happens to another class. We stayed home, flattening the curve and keeping up with each other through every kind of social media you can imagine. It taught us so much about the struggles of life that we cannot change, and patience, and not taking for granted the small blessings of life. We grew closer as we stayed apart, uniting over the knowledge that everyone was going through the same emotional roller coaster together. Beyond the life-changing pandemic, SHS has allowed us to mature in a comfortable environment before we all go our separate ways. I'm so glad we got to be together one last time. I've enjoyed all the time we've had together, and I'll never forget it. I hope everyone has enjoyed their time at Springville as much as I did. It's been a pleasure to be your president. Thank you.
Good afternoon. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Annie Jo Yeager, and for some reason, I was told I'm giving a speech. Me, the 18-year-old who still gets her mom to order for her at restaurants. Thanks, Dad, for the introvert part of my personality. To start, I would like to thank everyone for bearing with me. I'm kidding, sort of, but seriously, I am honored to be standing here before you. On behalf of Springville's 2020 graduating class, I would like to thank the family, friends, and faculty who have come out to support us despite these unprecedented times of a virus that has turned our world upside down. Your cooperation and determination to make this happen is a blessing to us graduates. Graduation was so important to us that we did protest on Facebook to get it. To the parents, you all have put up with us for 17, 18, 19 years of our lives. I know we haven't made it easy on you, but you have made it so much easier for us. Thank you for loving, supporting, and always being involved. And I mean always being involved. We are going to be lost without y'all at first, but don't worry, we learn from the best. We may not always show it, but we appreciate you so much. Secondly, I want to thank the teachers, faculty, and coaches. You all have held us to extremely high expectations, and I hope that we have exceeded them. You have pushed us past our limits, and we are thankful for every minute. I know March 13th was not what we had in mind for the last day of our senior year, but you had our backs and our best interest, and you worked to get us transitioned into this point where we are right now, graduates. There are a few people I would like to give a special thanks to. Mr. Winslet, you have shown us what it means to fight and what internal strength truly means. We are more than grateful for you, to Coach Smith and Coach Van and the rest of the faculty for stepping up and filling in to make things work. Thank you. Thank you, Coach House, for not retiring before we left, for scaring half of us and amazing the other half by being a genius. Thank you, Miss Box, for dealing with the loud and rambunctious kids that argue with you all class like Brady and I did for 2 years straight. Thank you for teaching us that whining and complaining doesn't get you far. Coach Preston, for always making us laugh and telling us the truth about life, and for teaching us to have a thick skin and to not care what others think. Miss Bryan and Miss Robertson for preparing us for anything and everything senior related. Of course, that doesn't include everyone because of time, but you are all the reason we are prepared to walk off this stage into life. Finally, to my friends, teammates, and peers, the graduates, we have made it so far by each other's side. We have always conquered every obstacle that has been thrown at us, together. We have made the best memories from pep rallies, junior-senior war, party buses, and now the big day, our graduation day. Callie, our amazing president that literally does it all, and personally, my best friend Brady, thank you for always being by my side. Thank y'all. I can proudly say I'm a part of this class. The class who has made history at Springville High School from outstanding sports performances, academic achievements, and graduating during a pandemic. This is it. We are graduates. Thank you for being the best class to walk the halls of Springville High School.
It has been said that just because the past didn't turn out like you wanted it to, doesn't mean your future can't be better than you've ever imagined. The class of 2020 may have missed out on the end of our senior year, but that does not take away from everything we have accomplished and everything we have to look forward to. Now, I might be a little biased, but I truly believe that Springville High School's class of 2020 is the best class. With a class size of just 150 students, we are small compared to Springville's growing population. I've always heard that quality is better than quantity anyways. Even though we may be small, there is no denying that our futures will be big. We have students playing softball, baseball, cross country, football, marching in the band, and dancing all at the collegiate level. From going into the military, to college, to the workforce, the class of 2020 will impact the world in so many ways. These past few months were certainly not expected. There comes the point when we must decide whether we are going to approach the outcome of this pandemic the right way or the easy way. I know that it is easy to focus on the things that we missed out on, how life isn't always fair, and to question why this had to happen. But doing things the easy way is not what the class of 2020 is all about. We have charged through this pandemic, dealt with its hardships, and I am confident that the class of 2020 will do the right thing and act on what we have learned. Instead of thinking of the things that we missed out on, we can be grateful for the extra time we got to spend with our families. Instead of focusing on how life hasn't been fair to us in the past, we can think of how amazing our futures will soon be. Everything happens for a reason, and while every day may not go according to plan for the class of 2020, our experiences will always lead us to where we are meant to go. Fortunately, the uncertainty of today is also accompanied with a few things the class of 2020 knows will never change. Like, we know that Coach Preston will always laugh at his own jokes before he tells them to you, because that laugh will put you in a good mood regardless if the joke is funny or not. We know that Coach House will always be there to make sure the school stays on track. Speaking of Coach House, I finally figured out why he had to get his knee replaced last year. It's because he carried the weight of the entire school on his shoulders for so long. I mean, that has to be bad for your knees. He's the athletic director, volleyball coach, AP physics teacher, chemistry teacher. I would list everything he does, but I'm running out of time, so I'll have to let Coach House fill you in on the rest. Okay guys. We know that if we ever miss Coach Taruk, we can see him down Main Street on his 16th walk of the day. If we ever want to know the score of any game, we know that Miss Hill will be posting the score on Facebook before the game is even over, because no other news source is faster or more reliable than Miss Hill. We don't ever have to wonder what Senora Teal is doing in the last 3 minutes of class, because we know there is always enough time for one more actividad. We know that Mr. Stevenson, Coach Preston, and Coach Giroux will always be there to show others what true friendship looks like. Between every class period, they will be huddled together in the hallway, laughing at each other's expense, and if that's not true friendship, I don't know what is. The class of 2020's future is brighter because of the amazing faculty and staff at SHS. The time, effort, and dedication that the teachers have given us does not go unnoticed, and we are grateful for everything they have done to ensure that we will succeed in life. Springville has given the class of 2020 the foundation on which we can build the rest of our lives. This foundation is strong because of the countless families, friends, and teachers that have supported the class of 2020 throughout our lifetime. But a foundation is still just a foundation. It is not something to rest on with no intention of moving forward. It is up to us, the class of 2020, not to waste all of the work leading up to this moment, to build on this foundation. And I know that we are up for the challenge. This entire experience has taught us to never take any opportunity for granted, because you never know when it might be taken away from you. Moving forward, we may want to predict what might happen or rely on others' actions to determine our future. But I want to finish this speech with a quote from Abraham Lincoln, saying that the most reliable way to predict the future is to create it. And I'm confident that the class of 2020 will act upon our dreams to create a future that fully encompasses who we were meant to be all along. Thank you.
Good evening. I'd like to take this time to welcome each of you, the parents, grandparents, family, and friends of the 2020 graduating seniors. I'd like to take this time to thank you for all of your hard work and help that you've given our school during this difficult of years. Just a few housekeeping notes. We would like to remind you that you can take pictures during the ceremony, but we would say to remember to take other people into consideration and please follow the social distancing guidelines and respect others as you take those pictures. I want to start by saying what a crazy year it has been. And I want to give a special thanks to Coach Smith, Coach Van, Ms. Robertson, Mrs. New, and all the staff for the hard work over the past year, and as a result, they have gotten you graduates to the point that you are tonight. I am so proud of each one of you. As I've said, it's been a crazy year, and it's ended even crazier than it started. You have done a magnificent job, and I appreciate the fact that you have worked so hard to complete all of your requirements and make it to this moment. I realize you have missed out on several things that come with a normal senior year. But you have persevered, you have not complained, and now you have reached this crowning achievement. In the future, you can share the story of the pandemic of 2020 and how you survived as the class of 2020. I again am so proud of you, and I love you all. We're saddened by the way that this school year has had to end for all of these graduates, but we're so thankful that we're able to have this special ceremony. At this time, I would like to recognize various students for their achievements during this past year. Students, as your name is called, please rise at your seat. Student Council President and Senior Class President, Callie Stanford. Yearbook Editor, Kendall Gibson. The Standard of Excellence Award is given to the student who achieved the highest GPA on the standard diploma. This year's Standard of Excellence Award goes to Lily Casey. The Standard of Achievement Award is given to the student who achieved the second highest GPA on the standard diploma. This year's Standard of Achievement Award goes to Brian Davis. At this point, we will do honor graduates, and I'll ask all the honor graduates to remain standing until the end. Honor graduates are students who have a 4.0 or higher GPA on the Advanced Academic Endorsement Diploma. This year, there are 19 students who have achieved this honor. Honor graduate, Gavin Bingham. Honor graduate, Madison Bradshaw. Honor graduate, Grace Krotz. Honor graduate, Brooke Davis. Honor graduate, Wyatt Idson. Honor graduate, Kendall Gibson. Honor graduate, Connor Graben. Honor graduate, Zachary Love. Honor graduate, Claire Marchant. Honor graduate, Sarah McGinnis. Honor graduate, Samuel McWhorter. Honor graduate, Emily Milan. Honor graduate, Allie Naylor. Honor graduate, Emily Rodriguez. Honor graduate, Robin Russo. Honor graduate, Faith Spates. Honor graduate, Callie Stanford. Honor graduate, Anna Tolbert. Honor graduate, Annie Jo Yeager. Let's give all of these honor graduates one more big round of applause. At this time, Ms. Robertson will come up to the podium to recognize local scholarship recipients.
Thank you. It has been my pleasure to be the counselor for the class of 2020 since they started at Springville High School. Typically, we have moved from having local scholarships announced at graduation to senior awards. But since we were unable this year to meet together for senior awards, please allow me to announce the local scholarships. Local scholarships are presented to Springville High School students through the generous donation of families and organizations in our community. Tonight, I would like to announce those scholarship recipients. Please stand when I call your name. Receiving SAD scholarships, Students Against Destructive Decisions, $200 each, Hunter Dunn and Faith Spates. Receiving Student Council scholarships of $100 each, Gavin Bingham, Faith Spates, Allie Naylor, Analia Gonzalez, and Callie Stanford. The AP Mary Boehm Scholarship in the amount of $500 this year goes to Mr. Connor Graben. And may I say, recipients, you will have your certificates with your diplomas this evening when you sign off for them. The Judy Cox Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $500 goes to Miss Claire Marchand. The Bill Tucker Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $500 goes to Mr. Zachary Love. The PTO Scholarship in the amount of $1,500 goes to Miss Grace Krotz. The Rob Spivey Scholarship, and this is the last class to receive that scholarship in the amount of $500, goes to Miss Anna Tolbert. The SHS Teachers Scholarship in the amount of $600 goes to Miss Robin Russo. The GC and Mary Bagley Memorial Scholarship goes to Mr. Brady Foster. This is the inaugural year for the Gunter Oil Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $1,500. That scholarship goes to Mr. Hunter Howard. We have been very blessed by the Pleasant Hill Community Mission, and I would like to take a moment to explain a little bit about them, and you will understand why in a moment. The Pleasant Hill Community Mission, located at Pleasant Hill United Methodist Church, out in Washington Valley. The mission has a community thrift store, and they have other private donors that contribute to their cause. They help families, but they also have started giving back to us as a school. I mention this because they have awarded 19 $1,000 scholarships this year. Wow. And we are very blessed. So when I call your name, please stand. Zachary Love, Connor Graben, Kendall Gibson, Callie Stanford, Robin Russo, Madison Bradshaw, Katie Cohn, Lily Casey, Teresa Hurd, Gage Logan, Trinity Rydollar, Haley Henderson, Analia Gonzalez, Maddie Lister, Grace Krotz, Lily Golden, Braden Hughes, and Faith Spates. The St. Clair County Education Association awards 2 scholarships in the amount of $500. Ms. Robin Russo and Zach Wilson. The Whitney Wise Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $1,000 goes to Ms. Kendall Gibson. The Masonic Lodge Scholarship this year goes to Mr. Jackson Murphy. The Barbara Bruckner Scholarship in the amount of $2,000 goes to Maddie Lister. The SES Scholarship goes to 2 recipients this year, Miss Grace Krotz and Callie Stanford. The St. Clair County Republican Scholarship in the amount of $1,000 goes to Madison Bradshaw and Callie Stanford. And the Sam Butler Scholarship in the amount of $5,000 goes to Mr. Gage Logan. Again, I'm very proud of each of you, and thank you for the opportunity to present these local scholarships. Seniors, please stand. The senior class of 2020 has met the requirements of the St. Clair County Board of Education and the state of Alabama. At this time, Mr. Winslet, I present them as candidates for graduation.
Having satisfactorily completed the prescribed course of study as required by the local and state Board of Education and by the authority vested in me by those boards, I now pronounce you 2020 graduates of Springville High School with all the privileges and responsibilities merited by that achievement. Congratulations, seniors. You may now switch your tassels. You will now receive your diplomas.
Gavin Michael Bingham. Madison Elise Bradshaw. Grace Marie Krotz. Brooke Michelle Davis. Benjamin Wyatt Edson. Kendall Marie Gibson. Connor Michael Graben. Zachary Edward Love. Claire Noel Marchant. Sarah Grace McGinnis. Samuel Hayden McWhorter. Okay. Emily Frances Mylan. Allie Grace Naylor. Emily Ashley Rodriguez. Robin Catherine Russo. Faith Evelyn Spates. Callie Yvonne Stanford. Anna Elizabeth Tolbert. Annie Jo Yeager. Brian Michael Davis. Grace Marie Adamson. Lillian Elizabeth Allen. Isla Alexis Barnett. Christopher Mason Beck. Nathan Dwayne Beeson. Alyssa Michelle Bolton. Jana Alexis Booker. William Alexander Brayman. Colby James Briggs. Kaylee Nicole Bryant. Celia Muriel Bunch. Hayden Alexander Bertram. Madison Brooke Carroll. Sawyer Lowell Chapman. Sorry about that. Let me repeat that last one. Sawyer Lowell Chapman. Margaret Catherine Cohn. Catherine Grace Davis. Madison Nicole Deason. Kaylee Sherry Dorset. Bo Allen Dozier. George Hunter Dunn. Sarah Grace Eddings. Jacoby Rashad Evans. Carissa Lorraine Finley. James Brady Foster. Keaton Webster Garner. Riley Grant Garrison. Nicholas Scott Giangrosso. Jamise Alada Gilchrist. Analia Arame Gonzalez. Chastity Hope Goodwin. Gloria Taylor Graham. Alexander Joseph Grimes. Elisha Jordan Guffey. Cade Michael Gunter. Jace Michael Hayes. Haley Paige Henderson. Caleb Joshua Holland. Lucas Orion Hopwood. Dakota Dean Howard. Hunter Cage Howard. Caitlin Grace Howell. Braden William Hughes. Teresa Ann Vivian Hurd. Ethan J. Johnson. Aniston Elizabeth Jones. Kaylee Ann Keith. Cayman Avery Kendrick. Hudson Cade Kirsch. Caleb Daniel Kimmons. Connor Peyton Kincaid. Caden Roland King. Braden Monroe Kaiser. Clyde Lamp IV. Carson James Land. Caitlin August Lawrence. Shelby Anna Lawrence. Noah Alexander Lee. Gage Allen Logan. Josie Lee Love. Ryan James Lovell. Jenna Maddie Lister. Nicholas Roma Martin. Briley Page McClendon. Isaiah Dylan Moore. Curtis Michael Moore. Keontanise Marche Morris. Adam Jackson Murphy. Ethan Blade Nairmore. Diane Renee O'Brien. Toby Marcus Payton. Christian Taylor Pendergraph. Kelsey Nicole Perkins. Tucker Bradley Perrin. Logan Heath Pilkington. Jackson Adalberto Pinon. Natalie Shane Poe. Autumn Michelle Poole. Rachel Olivia Powell. Jamia Danielle Raby. John Micah Raby. Emily Faith Robinson. Jenna Casey Ryan. Trinity Grace Rye Dollar. William Blaine Seaman. Austin Hunter Sherritt. Austin Blake Choop. Joshua Chance Spiegel. You're good. Mackenzie Renee Spivey. Jaden Lynn Stamford. Noah Zachary Stewart. Catherine Virginia Story. Michael Lawrence Story. William Bryce Story. Mace Strickland. Shelby Marie Summers. Alec Scott Thompson. Erin Catherine Marie Thompson. Jonah Ethan Thompson. Clayton Terrell Tittle. Olivia Morgan Trucks. John Morgan Underwood. Nicholas Austin Vines. Molly Elizabeth Walk. Beck Hugh Walker. Shelby Elizabeth Wilkinson. Julian Rashawn Williams. Zachary McCord Wilson. Trenton James Wyatt. Robert Linwood Young III.
Please stand for the singing of the alma mater.
and Coach Graven had said, I'm going to have batteries with me.